So I wanted to share a few of my favorite art supplies with you, and I had to narrow it down to top 5. So some of them are what I'm currently using in my favorites. Some are things that I use all the time. But here they are. First of all, as you can tell, this is probably my all-time favorite art supply. Can you see that? I'm still using it. These are extremely special. They're water soluble and they're a very, very soft lead. But what makes them really great is that I use them for blocking out all my paintings, including murals. They are made by Derwent. These particular ones are called soft drawing pencils. This is the box they come in, but let me show you what they look like when you get them. So they come in a nice metal case, as do a lot of artist pencils. But you can see the different shades that they come in. You can see how useful they would be. And like I said, they are water soluble. So like for instance, when I'm doing a painting and I'm laying out my design, these are the pencils that I'm going to use, particularly this one. But if I lay a line that I really don't like, I can wash it away. And that's pretty cool. I don't have to use an eraser. I just have to wash it. I mentioned to you that they blend with the paint. It gives it a shadow. Well, one of the things that I like to use, learned this from doing all my murals, as an extender for my paints and also to mix with those Derwent pencils, I use Floetrol. A lot of painters will use it. I'm not talking about artists, I'm talking about painters, because they don't want brush strokes in their paint. And this works with all water-based paints. So I use this with my acrylics, I use this with my Derwent pencils. I also use it with my pastels. I do a lot of mixed media. I like to paint with my pastels. You can mix them with water, but you can also mix them with Floetrol. So I draw on dry and add Floetrol to it. That's Floetrol. And I can make it into an actual paint. Any color that I want. It's pretty cool. So if you are an artist that doesn't feel real comfortable with painting, but rather with drawing, you might be more comfortable this way, using pastels or pencils, drawing, using Floetrol with it, get your shades in there. It's kind of a unique finish. Also, if you are going to use your pastels dry, which Rembrandt is my favorite. There might be another brand out there that somebody else prefers, but this is my favorite. I'd love to have a huge set, but right now this is what I have. The other thing I like to use, now this isn't in my top 5. It's not an art supply, but it is something I use, as I buy makeup sponges. And I use these for blending my pastels. The soft, fluffy kind. And you can tape them to make smudging tools. So that's a pretty cool trick. So if you're using them dry, that's a good way to use them. All right. Next is one of my wonderful finds. Now, mind you, mine's a little dirty. This is Masterson, if you can see it, Stay Wet palette. This is great for plein air painting. You can also use it inside, but I really, really am sold on it for plein air painting. I told you mine's dirty, so bear with me. Inside is this yellow sponge. You want to soak this yellow sponge in warm water, wring it out, put it in. You can wash it, so some of the paint kind of will leak through at times, but it'll wash out. This actually still feels damp and I haven't used it in a couple days. But this is not what you lay your paints on. This is not where you put your paint. You actually use this piece of paper. This isn't a regular piece of paper. You soak this paper in hot tap water, the hottest tap water you can get, for about 15 minutes. It will not tear. It's very durable, but yet it allows the moisture from the sponge to keep the paper wet, which keeps the paint wet. I've had paint in this with my wet paper on it, sealed up. I keep it in its Ziploc bag as well. The paint's still wet after weeks. That's pretty impressive. So definite sure buy. If you are a plein air painter, it's a must-have. And it's just one of my favorite items. This is what the package looks like for the paper. It's inexpensive for the replacement paper, and there really isn't anything else that you can replace it with. I tried some tips that I had seen online just in a pinch, you know, that you can use with this. It's not the same thing. This stuff is great, and it's very inexpensive. I'll put the link for you to be able to order it if you'd like it. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. We're down to 5. Now, this is a brand new set because I go through my paints pretty fast. I like to paint big, so just like the angel oak, this is pretty good size painting, so I do go through paints pretty fast. This is Golden Open slow drying acrylic paint. Now, I told you I do mixed media. Acrylic is great for mixed media because it mixes with so many other things that are water-based. So I definitely use this. But the slow drying, coupled with the Stay Wet palette by Masterson, is awesome. So you can get longer time, and then you use the Floetrol with it, and everything is smooth. You don't have to worry about things drying where you can't blend. Everything just blends like butter. So those were my top 5. I hope you enjoyed this. I will be putting a link for you so that you'll be able to order these products if you want. By the way, I am cheap, so I'm always looking for a good deal. So the links that I give you will give you a really good price. These are not expensive items, but they are staples. At least they are for me. Maybe there's things that you prefer. If there are some items that you particularly like, please comment. Let me know about them. I'd love to try them out. I'd like to test out some new items. So if there's something out there that I haven't tried, of course I use more than just these items. I had to narrow it down to just 5. I will be posting from time to time different items that I try, new types of mediums. Maybe you guys can give me some tips. Maybe there's something that you want me to try. You want to see how they work. I will be demonstrating some of these different products so that you can see in upcoming videos. So until the next time, I will talk to you later.